Goodness.
Hey, good night, everybody. Saturday night. We're here with my son, Nicholas, and Mike, my co-host. You know, and we're going to talk WWE and all that's been going on lately and a lot of good stuff. It's been about 3 weeks since we've done the podcast, Mike.
Yeah, it's been a while, yeah.
It's been a while. Tomorrow night, it's going to be Battleground.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Can't wait to see it. You know, a few matches looking forward to. Like, I'm still not totally on board with Jinder as a champion, but I think that so far he's been doing a pretty good job, right?
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And the Punjabi prison match will probably be a good match. Probably a lot of interference from his little goon squad, but it's
probably.
I think Jinder's going to retain. And probably going to end up in SummerSlam against Cena.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, definitely.
I think that's probably what's going to happen. I'm not sure, but maybe Cena. The first stepping stone was tomorrow night against Rusev.
Probably, yeah.
In the flag match. So hopefully, it's going to be a good match because I really like Rusev, and I think Rusev, his injury was very bad timing.
Yeah.
And now he's coming back, in a point where he can make a big difference.
Yeah, but I think Cena will win.
Yeah, but I think he's going to be a major player on the SmackDown roster.
I hope so.
Be a good foil for guys like Dillinger and Chad Gable. He's a good wrestler, very solid in the ring, very good heel. And I'd love to see him, use his real personality. He's such a funny guy, kind of like Sheamus.
Yeah.
So it'd be fun to see him cut loose and do a babyface run down the line. But for now, I think could fit as a pretty good upper mid-card heel on the SmackDown brand. Maybe eventually even feud with Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
That would be pretty good. I'm not the biggest fan of Baron Corbin. I think he's still a little bit green in terms of in-ring.
Yeah.
I think that physically he's not, as imposing as they make it to be because he's even Big Cass, he's not that big. But, I mean, in terms of wrestling, he's a little bit more stiff than Big Cass.
Yeah.
So I think he's got a little bit more potential than Big Cass. On the mic, he's more believable than Big Cass.
Yeah.
But Big Cass, was protected by Enzo.
Right.
Corbin's always been by himself, so that's probably the biggest difference.
The lone wolf. Yeah.
Yeah. And
but I think it's going to be a good match tomorrow night against Nakamura.
Yeah, definitely. And so far, in terms of character, Nakamura is the same guy we've seen on NXT. The only difference now is that on SmackDown we haven't seen it perform as top level yet.
No. Not yet.
We haven't seen, like the King of Strong style. We've seen the artist.
Right.
And
it's not as good as his first match he had against Sami Zayn.
Holy shit.
It was an incredible match.
And the matches he had against Samoa Joe, a few of them were pretty good. A few were boring, but a few were pretty good.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that he's capable of much more than what we've seen so far.
Yeah.
The thing is, the limitations they put on the guys is absolutely ridiculous. Like we were watching last night, Kenny Omega's best moves.
Right.
And we were like, no, you couldn't use it in WWE. No, you couldn't use this. No. And out of the top 10 moves, maybe half of them you wouldn't be able to use. And maybe the other half wouldn't be able to use because other guys are using kind of like the same moves. Yeah. Even his Rainmaker is pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
But, I think that if you can use it in Japan, why can't you use it in WWE?
Exactly.
Yeah. Doesn't make any sense. AJ Styles broke guy's neck with with his fucking Style Slash. Samoa Joe broke Tyson's kid's neck with his Spine Buster.
Muscle Buster.
Muscle Buster. He doesn't use it much anymore, right?
No. He uses more the Conchita Clutch shit. Yeah.
He was able to use it in NXT. Now too dangerous for the main roster. I don't get it. Yep. Because it's a pretty kick-ass move. I prefer it to the boring, Kona Clutch, it's like, like a chokehold.
Right.
But, I don't know why there's so many restrictions in WWE. Like, I had a podcast last week with my good friend Randy. Shout out to you, Randy Undead Fordinano. Like we said, that is not reflective of the wrestlers' abilities to perform. No. It's just that they are restricted so much, time-wise and in terms of what they can use in the ring.
Yeah, it's too bad, yeah.
Remember years ago when Tyler Rex did kind of like the same move Cena did?
Right.
And he was blasted backstage. And damn, you can't use the finish Kevin Owens had. My kids were playing this afternoon, on PlayStation, WWE 2K17.
Right.
And, you can see Kevin Owens use his former finishing move, which is kind of like spike pile driver,
Yeah.
That's a devastating move, but you can't use it on the main roster. That was such a devastating move. I've seen him once do it from the top rope.
Oh my God.
And talk about killing somebody, you know?
Yeah, it's dangerous, yeah.
But I mean, why? You know, I'm like, the ring is so flexible and everything. Anyway.
Well, even look at Seth Rollins. I mean,
yeah.
The curb stomp he used to use. You can't use it anymore.
Then that was such a sissy move, you know, like barely touch a guy.
Yep. Anyway.
So anyway, it's a little bit frustrating because I think that there's no reason for it. You know, these guys are professional athletes.
Yeah.
And most of the time, the injuries happen during routine moves anyway.
Exactly, like a baseball slide outside the ring.
Like Neville.
Yeah.
And when he broke his ankle, Seth, you know, against Kane, just did a flip from the top rope and he fell awkwardly on his leg. Finn Balor was the power bomb on the outside,
Rollins,
you know, like basically just thrown on the ring rope.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So basically, you never see injuries happen during those kind of dangerous moves.
No, it's always freak moves, yeah.
Yeah. And so you can't stop injuries. You can't...
no, it's a human body. I mean, you can't stop injuries. I mean, like they say, wrestling is not ballet.
No, it's not. But the way they portray it right now, it's a little bit more scripted than I would love it to be. Mm-hmm. And I know the performers that they have right now in the WWE are capable of much more. You know, the best example is Cody Rhodes.
Yep.
You know, look at how great his matches are in ROH and in New Japan.
Well, yeah.
Same thing with Drew Galloway. And now he's back, and it's awesome. And I'm very happy.
Same thing with Jack Swagger.
Yeah.
Same thing. Yeah.
Exactly. So, yeah, didn't want to specifically talk just about Battleground. I want to talk more about the state of the WWE.
Oh, yeah.
And something that, you know, that a lot of people will say, never really heard people talking about that. I don't think on any podcast I've ever heard. Even, you know, I listen to all the podcasts from Stone Cold to Bruce Pritchard. Shout out to him and Conrad. Love them. Awesome guys.
Conrad Thompson's great. Yeah.
Conrad is the best in the West, baby. I would love to do a podcast with him. You know,
definitely.
He's an awesome guy. I listened to Jim Cornette's Tony Schiavone. What a wonderful guy.
Great.
He's so funny.
Great.
I love the swearing and the fucker and everything. You know, he's so funny.
Oh, yeah.
Great guy.
Definitely.
Great guy. I love Tony. And I listened to Jericho, to Stone Cold, to Bischoff, to Vince Russo's podcast. And I don't think I've ever heard them talk about specifically that there's wrestlers, in my opinion, that are made for TV shows. And there are wrestlers that are made for pay-per-views. Let me explain. Guys, best example would be Dean Ambrose. Because when you see it on a segment, you know, coming out, interfering, or being like the lunatic fringe, and then people are laughing or whatever, and then he gets the main event match on Raw and SmackDown against either The Miz or whatever, or Braun Strowman, and he with the commercial breaks and everything,
right.
You see only the highlights of the match, so that's where Dean shines, you know?
Right.
But put him in a pay-per-view match, and it's like 20 minutes, you kind of see his limitations.
Right.
He doesn't get to exude his personality as much because it's a regular match. So the best example is against Baron Corbin at Mania. Yeah. The match, of course, the guys probably were pissed to be on the pre-show, but the match just fucking sucked.
I know, yeah.
And the night after, or 2 nights after on SmackDown, was the match of the night, and people were going crazy.
I know, I remember, yeah.
So, because they had a segment and everything, and they were allowed to do more stuff.
Right.
So it just goes to show some guys are better for pay-per-views than TV shows. I think a guy like Ziggler is better for pay-per-views. When you have him in a long match, very good feud with a wrestler, you know, like if they were to put him, let's say, against Chad Gable and give him 20 minutes,
right.
They could steal the show.
Of course.
But, and the same thing, you got a guy like Roman Reigns, he sucks, you know, on episodic television.
Right.
You know, you can have a good match at the end of Raw, but he's not that good on promos. Mm-hmm. But on a pay-per-view, you know, his charisma is don't take any shit attitude. It goes very well with the pay-per-view format. When he goes out, he can have a 20-minute match, believable action, and he's a great pay-per-view performer.
Right.
There's other guys that are as good, you know, either it's a pay-per-view or another guy that is perfect for TV is The Miz.
Of course.
You never saw The Miz except maybe against Dolph steal the show on the pay-per-view.
No.
But on Raw and SmackDown, he steals the show every week. Why? Because he's allowed to do his Miz TV and everything.
He's great, yeah.
And on the pay-per-view, his limitations are a little bit more clear and evident.
Right.
And it's not like The Rock or Austin, that they could steal the show in the ring and be so. Last night we were watching The Rock's best of. It's incredible.
Amazing. No wonder he's a movie star now.
Best in the world.
Of course.
Best in the world to Dwayne Johnson, and those that haven't watched Table for Three this week with
the Nation of Domination.
Yeah, Mark Henry, Godfather, and Ron Simmons.
Yeah.
And he sent them, the Rolex, and to Ron Simmons, he sent the picture of himself,
So
like they did back in the day when he was trying to steal the Nation from Ron Simmons. It was such a classic.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Even not there, he stole the show.
Yeah. And on the card, it said DJ, from DJ, Dwayne Johnson.
Exactly. That was great. That was great. Just to remember where he came from.
Yeah.
And the Nation allowed him to become a character and to shine,
Exactly. That's how he became The Rock.
That's how he became The Rock.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
That's how he became the People's Champ. And, you see his first promos in the ring.
Yeah.
And when he started talking about himself in third person, and he could make anybody look like $1 million.
Everything changed after that, yeah.
Yesterday we were watching also promos he had with Hurricane.
Oh, yeah, so funny.
Oh, Hurricane is such an underappreciated guy from that era.
Really is.
Could go in the ring.
Yeah.
Very entertaining guy, and I love him. Shane Helms, great guy. I'd love him to see him come back into WWE, even as an on-screen personality and being like Jamie Noble or Mercury. Backstage, he'd be a great asset.
Yes.
Definitely. Great wrestling mind, and on camera, he could do a few cameo as the Hurricane.
Right.
It was good. It was very, very good.
Great.
So in the last few weeks on Raw, they always say summer's a little bit more like
down period for WWE.
A down period, but still, there's my big thumbs down is the tag team division. How they wrecked it.
Yeah.
And you can do a team splitting up. That's old school, but like 5 teams splitting up about a month.
That's too bad.
Doesn't make any sense. You start with DIY.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was the best breakup ever because we didn't see it coming. That was perfect.
It was good. Yeah.
That was perfect. Amazing.
Yeah.
But then Enzo and Cass, you could see them from miles away.
Yeah.
What I would have loved is them the second week to come back together stronger like they were about to do.
I thought they were going to do that, yeah.
That would have been amazing. But, splitting up Enzo and Cass, then splitting up American Alpha. Now Jason Jordan being Kurt Angle's son. We'll talk about it later on.
Out of the blue.
Out of the blue, you say.
Wow.
And so you break up another young tag team.
Yeah.
The Colons, with one being injured, so they're not there anymore. They're breaking up right now the High Bros.
The Golden Truth.
The Golden Truth.
Broke up.
The 5th team, and now a 6th team on the way to be broken up is the High Bros.
Yeah.
Probably do a heel turn for Mojo. Maybe do like a switch and maybe have Zach. Anyway, why break them up,
I don't know.
And, so basically, SmackDown is left with 3 teams and Raw is left with 3 teams.
Yeah.
And all you got is, if you don't count Rhino and Slater, but you got, the Club, the Revival, and the Hardys. Sheamus and Cesaro. So you got 5 teams on Raw.
Yeah.
And on SmackDown, you've got the champions. You got the Usos. You got the New Day, Breezango, Ascension, and maybe Harper and Rowan could reunite tomorrow and be the guys that were doing the shit with the Breezango. That would be at least a good way to bring him back on TV.
Yeah.
I hope it is a way to bring it back on TV. You need more tag teams, and Rowan and Harper, they never got a chance to be tag team champions.
Yeah.
And I think they deserve it. They're great wrestlers, and Rowan by himself, I don't think he's ever going to catch fire. And Harper, as good as he is, doesn't seem to have the writing team behind him.
Right.
Maybe because of his look. And so it's sad, but why at least put them back together?
Yeah.
They're a great tag team. 2 big guys.
Yeah.
And one that can fly, a big guy that has a lot of talent, and another big guy that's believable in the ring and looks scary.
Definitely. Yeah.
Be a good tag team. Could have a good feud with the Usos, or they had amazing matches against the Usos.
Right.
Remember watching old pay-per-views this week?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, they had a great 2 out of 3 falls against the Usos.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the feud reignited, maybe even against the New Day.
Right.
And the first off would officially with Breezango. Breezango are the, the surprise of the year thus far.
Yeah. definitely.
Because talk about two guys that came out of the doghouse.
Yeah.
It just shows that if you stay there, maybe one day Vince will wake up and say, hey, how about we try this with them?
Well, look at Jinder Mahal.
Yeah, Jinder Mahal, a jobber for life, man.
Yeah, now he's champ.
And now he's the champ.
Wow.
So if I'm Kurt Hawkins, I'm like, hey.
I got a chance.
Maybe I got a chance.
Yeah.
If I'm Kurt Hawkins or if I'm Curtis Axel,
Yeah, I got a chance.
like, wow.
I got a chance.
Or even Bo.
Even Bo Dallas. That's right.
Because I love Bo. I really love Bo. I think Bo is very good.
Yeah.
A lot of talent. I think Bo's got everything now. At least he's a misdirage. It's going to help him
That's
to
good.
get some TV time.
That's good for them. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Because these guys are third generation for Curtis, third generation for Bo,
Yes.
and also third generation for for the two of them. Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Third generation wrestlers.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
Yep.
I think that if you look at it on pure wrestling standpoint, I think Bo is even better than Bray. Of course, he doesn't have the charisma that Bray has,
Yeah.
and he's not as how can I say explosive as Bray.
Right.
But he's a very, very good wrestler. Just look at the match we saw last night.
And then NXT. Yeah.
The ladder match against Neville.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Was an amazing match.
Yeah.
But again, people say, well, Neville can have a good match with anybody. No, it takes two to dance.
Well, yeah. You have to. You can't wrestle yourself.
Exactly. And he followed Neville move for move.
Yeah.
It was an amazing match. I never saw that pay-per-view, NXT, I think it was the second NXT TakeOver, just called NXT TakeOver.
Yeah.
But he impressed me.
Well, we didn't see a lot of the old NXT takeovers because we didn't have the network back then.
But now we're watching them. We're catching up with them.
Now we have it now, yeah.
In Canada, we had it a little bit later than in the U.S.
Right.
But yeah, I think Bo and Miz being in the Misdirage has helped them get more TV time. With more TV time comes opportunities.
Exactly, yeah.
And you got to make the most of it. If you got 2 minutes, or 10 minutes,
Yeah.
if you maximize it, your chances are that maybe you might get a push out of it. The best example, to me, is The Miz. He went from 2 years ago, he was totally forgotten man. He was not wrestling on every TV show.
Yeah.
He was totally jobbing on TV. But he kept on doing his shtick. He came back, did movies, came back with the Hollywood A-list.
Right.
Didn't catch right away. Didn't catch fire right away. And then when he came back with Maurice the third or fourth time around, then everything changed.
It changed when she
everything
came
clicked.
back. Yeah, when she came back, it changed a lot.
I don't want to put all the on Maurice, but I mean that
it helped. It helped.
it gave him an edge.
Right. It helped him definitely, yeah. Of course. You can see it, yeah.
Because Maurice brings that,
Yeah.
old school valet manager.
Right.
It helps him. And now with the Mr. Ash, he could have a long IC title run.
Yeah, definitely.
Another guy I wanted to talk about, that lately has been kind of a little bit lost in the shuffle, is Seth. He's lost a few matches against Bray. I think, sometimes, like Bruce Pritchard would say, we're just cooling him off.
Yeah.
And is it building towards a Shield reunion down the line, or maybe a Dean Ambrose heel turn?
I don't know.
I think it's maybe headed towards a Dean Ambrose heel turn.
It could be, yeah.
Dean turning full heel.
Yeah.
That could be a great feud.
That could be great, yeah.
Seth and Dean, and this could lead down the road to maybe Roman being the guy that say, hey guys, we stop fighting, we're together, we need to be, that could be the way they could bring back the Shield.
Right.
But to bring back the Shield, you need, back then, the nation, you need to bring stables, like Sanity and very dominant stables.
Yeah.
Maybe if you sign guys like Kenny Omega or Jay Lethal, you could form a new stable, and then have them run Havoc and attack Roman and everything, and then you can put the Shield back together. But if they came back today, who would they feud with?
Exactly.
Or Samoa Joe was to, or Bray Wyatt would reform kind of a Wyatt family with Bray Wyatt and Samoa Joe or something like that, and they decimating the roster.
Yeah.
That could be a great way to bring back the Shield.
Definitely, yeah.
But you need more than just one stable. Even bring the New Day on Raw as heels could be a great feud with the with the Shield.
Right.
Because you could have three against three matches. And instead of having to sit Kofi or Xavier,
right,
you could have all of them wrestle at the same time.
Yeah, that's right.
So there's a lot of good things that could come up down the road. But if we talk about WrestleMania, even though it's still months away, the first rumors we've heard so far is that rumblings of a match between AJ and Shinsuke Nakamura for the World Championship, for the SmackDown World title.
Wow.
That would be amazing, right?
Yes, of course. Amazing, yeah.
That would be the show-stealing match.
Yes, of course.
And that would be great, because they had the match of the year 3 years ago in New Japan.
Yes.
And they could have the match of the year in 2018.
That's right.
And you could have it by having Shinsuke winning the Rumble and having AJ winning the title of the Rumble.
Yeah.
What a match it would be.
It would be awesome, yeah. Definitely.
The other match they were, of course, it's Roman against Brock. So to bring it to WrestleMania, it has to be a 4-way at a SummerSlam with Braun and also Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
And have Brock pin Roman.
Wow.
To build a little bit of doubt.
Yeah.
And then, come WrestleMania, Roman could come out a little bit as the underdog.
Right. Yeah.
That could be a good way to do it.
Yeah.
And with Jason Jordan and Kurt Angle, how about, he does the heel turn down the road and have a match at WrestleMania against Kurt.
Wow. That'd be awesome, yeah.
That would be great.
Definitely.
Be like the passing of the torch from Kurt to Jason Jordan.
Definitely.
As the new wrestler of the WWE, because Jason Jordan, I've said it before, he's explosive. His suplexes are amazing.
Yep.
He's a joy to watch. We haven't seen nothing yet from this kid.
Well, no.
The sky is the limit.
Of course. Yeah.
Same thing with Chad. Size differential can make a little bit of big difference. Maybe the ceiling will be a little bit lower for Chad.
Maybe, yeah.
But we never know. We never know. I think that Chad has the speed and the ability to have great matches against it. We've seen him have great matches against AJ.
That's right.
And I could see Chad having great matches with Ty Dillinger against Dolph Ziggler, with Kevin Owens.
Definitely.
So he's definitely a kid that even against bigger guys like Corbin or Samoa Joe, he could still, compete because he's quick.
Yes.
And pretty strong. Even though he's not that big, he's pretty strong. Reminds me a little bit of Neville.
Yeah.
But not on the Neville level.
No, man.
Because Neville, again, we've seen it before. If we had to say the half-year Wrestler of the Year award, no doubt in my mind. There's no doubt in my mind. That's not even a question that Neville is the WWE Wrestler of the Year.
Definitely.
Neville, followed by Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
I would say Neville, Braun Strowman, and Samoa Joe are the 3 Wrestlers of the Year thus far.
Right.
And the Tag Team of the Year thus far probably has to be Sheamus and Cesaro.
Probably. Yeah.
And the Usos.
Yes.
And the Revival, they just arrived, so they kicked ass, but they
were injured for a while.
It's just a question of time until they. But what a feud it will be against Sheamus and Cesaro.
It's going to be the Hardys first.
But I think it's going to be a slobber knocker.
Yeah.
The only thing is that they're both heels.
Yeah, I know.
So they're probably going to have to turn Sheamus and Cesaro as baby faces.
I don't know. Yeah.
To feud with them.
Probably, yeah.
Even with the club would be a good feud.
Yes, of course.
Because they're underrated. These 2 guys are great, especially Carl Anderson. We've said it before.
Yes.
Carl Anderson can go, man.
I know.
And Finn Balor now is having a feud with the upset wrestler of the year. In NXT, it was not working.
No.
Came to the main roster, and bam! The Drifter, man. He's on fire.
It's amazing, huh?
And shades of the Honky Tonk Man this week with the guitar shot.
Man.
I thought he really hurt Finn.
Me too.
It's a good thing he didn't give him a concussion. Damn.
I'm surprised he did. Wow.
Very happy because it would have been incredibly poor Finn,
Not again, huh?
Not again. But no, I think that Samson is going to be a great mid-carder.
Yes.
Great mid-carder.
Yeah.
It reminds me a little bit of Seth Rollins mixed up with Randy Macho Man Savage.
Yeah.
In terms of looks.
Yeah.
In terms of in-ring style, I think he reminds me a little bit of a... it's pretty hard to compare. He's not necessarily... He's very aggressive, and his moves seem very stiff.
Yeah.
So I love his ring presence, his shots and his kicks and his clotheslines.
Yep.
It's very stiff, He seems like the kind of guy that, it hurts wrestling him. Reminds me a little bit of Sheamus, but without the explosiveness of Sheamus, because Sheamus is, damn, you got to say, the most underrated guy on the roster. And Cesaro, what a wonderful wrestler he is.
Cesaro is amazing. Yeah.
Cesaro, everybody knows Cesaro is great, and I know it, but how about Sheamus?
He's great, yeah.
The guy is awesome.
Of course.
You know, he had probably the best matches of Big Show's career. Remember the feud with Big Show a few years ago? It was awesome. The matches were great.
Yes.
Can have great matches with anybody.
Right.
He had great matches with Roman. People remember, you know, it was good matches.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that he's got it all.
Yeah.
He's got it all. Big Cass. I'm not sure, you know. I don't know. I'm not a big Cass fan, and I love Enzo. I love Enzo to death. You know, I think Enzo is the best on the mic since The Rock. And I think that Enzo, no matter what, is going to remain on TV. He's awesome on the mic. He's got everything you need from a guy. He's entertaining. He can be a never say die guy. And I think he's going to remain a good mid-carder. But Big Cass, you know, if you take away the fact that he's 6'10", yeah, he showed a little bit of aggression with Big Show this week. It kind of impressed me a little bit.
Yeah.
But he's going to have to bring more of that, you know, aggressiveness.
Yeah.
To go to the next level.
I think so, yeah.
I think he needs to step up his game.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And, well, basically we're doing a rundown of the roster, but that's pretty cool because, you know, that's what this is what we do, right? This is the WWE. This is our lives.
That's right, huh?
And also think that The Miz still remains probably the oddest guy on the company right now.
Yeah.
I mean, on the mic with his Miz Taraj right now, he's absolutely nailing it.
Yeah.
Maybe loud sometimes, but it's The Miz, you know.
Oh, definitely.
And he's wonderful. Great guy. Kathy Kelly, she needs to be on TV. She's so beautiful, so talented.
She's gorgeous,
You need to bring her on television, you know. I'm a Kathy Kelly guy.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Definitely.
And, yeah, so basically like I've said before, the roster is deeper than it's ever been.
Oh, yeah.
And we did a podcast a few months ago talking about Dean Ambrose and when they said he was lazy and everything. But like I said before, he's not lazy. Dean is let him go. Let him rep. You know, don't ask him to be the next Roddy Piper. Just let him be the first Dean Ambrose, the Lunatic Fringe. He doesn't need to follow anybody. He's got his own style.
Oh, yeah.
And he's good. He's very good. He's good on the mic.
Yep.
In the ring, he's a good wrestler. He's not Seth Rollins. He's not Finn Balor, but he's good. No, but he's good. But, you know, you need all kind of guys.
Well, yeah.
And was Hulk Hogan a great wrestler?
No.
Nope.
Was Ultimate Warrior? No.
Nope. Was, you know, Ric Flair a great wrestler? Nope. Great at selling, great on the mic, that's it.
Yeah.
You know, was even Steve Austin towards the end a great wrestler?
No.
No? Was The Rock a great wrestler? Yes.
Yes.
But was he the greatest? No, he was good.
No, he was good, but wasn't the greatest.
No. But what made those guys special was the charisma they had.
Exactly.
And the intensity they brought to the table. And The Rock was his selling.
Well, of course. And the mic skills.
Mike's skills and his selling was incredible. His fist.
Obviously.
You know, he had the best shots. You know, like, but not everybody can be a Shawn Michaels.
No, not everybody. Everybody can be a Bret Hart.
Yeah, not everybody. And even Bret, people say, was born on the mic. So, you know, you had Shawn, who was ordinary on the mic, was great in the ring. So it's hard to find a guy who was perfect at everything.
CM Punk.
CM Punk was. Oh, definitely, man.
Best in the world.
Best in the world. That's why, you know, there's rumors that WWE are very interested in bringing him back.
Oh,
He's not interested yet.
Oh, boy.
But
wow,
he was awesome, you know. What differentiates CM Punk to the rest is that he believed in the hype, he believed in himself, and he was arrogant.
Yeah.
But his arrogance was kind of like the arrogance of a guy talking to you on the street. It was not a character. It was CM Punk, Phil Brooks.
Yeah.
He was just being himself.
Definitely.
And that's what made the difference. He was believable in what he said, the way he said it.
That's
and he meant. You knew he meant every word.
That's right. Yeah.
That's what made him special.
Yeah.
And in the ring, not necessarily the best gifted guy, but he was amazing. You know, he was amazing.
Yeah.
Great at selling.
Yep.
Always on point.
Yep.
You know, you could go with anybody from Daniel Bryan to Undertaker.
Undertaker.
Yeah, he had the Taker's last good match.
Yeah.
Basically, the year after was against Brock, and after that, he was a shell of himself.
Right.
So basically, CM Punk was the last guy that wrestled Undertaker when he's still capable of doing good matches.
That's true. Yeah.
So no, I think CM Punk coming back would be absolutely incredible.
Yeah. Definitely.
Definitely incredible. You know, the best in the world coming back.
That'd be awesome.
That would need to be an angle with Triple H.
Has to be.
It has to be with Triple H.
Yeah.
It has to be with Triple H. His first match back would have to be against Triple H.
Yeah, at WrestleMania.
At WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That needs to be... Talk about, you know, a main event.
Oh, wow.
You know, like, imagine the promos.
Hey, wow.
You wouldn't need to script anything.
No, that'd be awesome.
Triple H, they would let it just rip, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That'd be awesome, yeah.
Because they don't like each other. Holy shit.
Nope.
He quit thinking that having a match against Triple H at WrestleMania was an insult to him.
Because it wasn't in the main event.
Exactly. So, no need to say Triple H took it personally.
No,
So there's bad blood there, and that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Because when there's bad blood in real life, that always makes for the best angles.
Well, yeah. Look at Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. Yeah.
Exactly. And Warrior and Hogan,
Yeah.
you know, didn't like each other in real life. You know?
Warrior and Savage.
Warrior and Savage.
Hogan and Savage.
Actually, nobody liked Hogan.
There you
It
go.
was kind of easy because back in the day, Hogan was such a prima donna
Yeah.
and an asshole to boot. He still is, by the way. And so, yeah, it was a kind of guy that was looking only for himself, didn't care about anybody else,
That's obvious.
didn't care about the business.
That's obvious.
He was a shitty wrestler, but yeah, he was over. Can't take anything away from him.
Oh, no.
If it wasn't for him, there would be the WWE that we know now. There wouldn't be no WWE network and everything.
That's true.
So I don't like Hogan the person.
No, but you gotta
I didn't like Hogan the wrestler,
But you gotta respect him for
but I respect the entertainer.
what he did for the business.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He was the first mega superstar
Right. Exactly.
that brought the WWE to mainstream, you know,
Exactly.
with Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
Roddy, I miss him so much. You know, I want to buy his Hot Rod t-shirt that mine was so... I had to throw it out a few years ago because I put it so many times. So I want to buy another Hot Rod shirt. And
yeah.
I miss Hot Rod. You know, I miss his podcast. I miss the guy. Good friend, you know, used to talk on Twitter.
Yes.
Met him in person a few times. Drove him around Montreal. He was a genuine good guy, you know, always smiling, nice to his fans.
Yes, too bad.
Down to earth, Canadian, good old Canadian boy.
Too bad he died, yeah.
Died too young,
Way too young, yeah.
60 years old, you know, and
Yeah.
there'll never be another Roddy Piper. Like I said before, stop trying to make Dean Ambrose the next Roddy Piper. No, Roddy Piper will never be replaced.
Well, no, obviously, there's no way that people can replace a guy like that. It's impossible.
A guy that came here to chew bubble gum and kick some ass. But unfortunately, he always was out of bubble gum. So he was always there to kick some ass.
Classic line. Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome from the movie They Lived. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was awesome.
That's right.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and that was probably the best movie from a wrestler.
From,
Well,
Piper's movies, yeah.
Yeah, Piper, if you don't count The Rock. I mean,
Oh, no.
talk about only wrestlers doing a movie here and there.
Yeah.
I think that was the best movie ever.
Yeah.
John Carpenter, They Live.
Yeah.
And Piper was the main character.
Yes.
It was awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Could have led to a great acting career.
Yeah.
But he kept wrestling, yeah.
I'm surprised that because he was supposed to retire after WrestleMania 3, and then he came back.
Yeah. I think the business was in his blood, but just before he died, he made a few movies.
Yeah.
That maybe we can find on Google Play and buy it, because I knew he just finished a movie just before he passed away.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was doing movies, was doing his podcast. He was staying active, you know. He was not staying at
I
home.
remember his podcast, yeah.
His podcast was awesome.
Yeah.
His podcast was absolutely awesome. I would comment on his podcast every week. That's how we would talk. And
Yeah.
he would say what he didn't like about the podcast. And he was very hard on himself. Like, oh, I dig too deep, or I talk too much on this one, or I did. No, it's Roddy, man. He was respectful to his
himself, yeah. Yeah.
podcast he did with a friend of mine, you know, from Ghost Asylum. And the kid was nervous, you know. He did the podcast, and he put him over like hell, you know, like he was a superstar, you know. He was awesome. He treated everybody,
Yep.
the average Joe to the Hulk Hogan's like they were megastar.
Right.
You know, but being with him made you a megastar.
Exactly.
Just being in his presence made you a superstar because he had that personality, that aura that just made you standing beside him be great. Conrad had a few podcasts also with Roddy, and Conrad is a lucky son of a bitch. You know, he did podcasts with Ric Flair, Tony Schiavone, with Bruce Pritchard. That's awesome. Well, Bruce Pritchard, the fun part about it is the fact that we got a perspective from Vince McMahon.
The right-hand man.
The right-hand man of Vince.
That's amazing.
That's incredible. If you never listen to Bruce Pritchard, Something to Wrestle With, you're missing out on the best podcast in the world.
Oh, definitely.
Because you got every story detail from what happened from behind the scenes in the WWE. Indeed. From WrestleMania 4, 5, to, 7 or 8 to, damn, you know, he worked for WWE for 25 years.
Yeah.
So he missed a few pay-per-views here and there. He was fired a few times, came back. Yeah. But he's got juicy stories, and his imitation of Vince and Dusty Rhodes.
That's the best part of it. I mean, his imitations are amazing.
Poor Jerry Jarrett.
Oh, well, that's a classic, yeah.
It's incredible, you know. And
just for that alone.
He's not holding out on anything.
He could be a humorist. I mean,
he's awesome.
His imitations are amazing.
Yeah, of the Ultimate Warrior. That's so funny.
Oh, yeah.
But with Baby, the Dusty Rhodes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and talking about, you know, McMahon.
Yep.
Damn, pal.
Yeah, he's amazing. That's
a good motherfucker of a face. Look at that big bastard. Talking about Kevin Nash and stuff like that. So it's a funny guy, you know. Vince is Vince.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
Never be another Vince. Never, ever, ever.
Well, no. That's for sure.
So, yeah, tomorrow night, Battleground, baby.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it. You know, title injury in the pre-show against Aiden English. You got the 5-way match for the women. Number 1 contenders match. You got Rusev, Cena.
Yeah.
Jinder Mahal, Randy Orton. New Day against the Usos.
AJ Styles, Kevin Owens.
Wow, that's going to be amazing. I think AJ's going to win. You got Baron Corbin against Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a great pay-per-view.
And Breezango against the mystery team.
Yeah, probably Eric Rowan and Luke Harper.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I hope so, yeah.
Because if Sanity are wrestling at the NXT TakeOver in Brooklyn, they won't be on the main roster now.
No.
So it doesn't leave a lot of options left.
That's right. Yeah.
Can't have another match with Ascension, right?
I don't think so, no.
They had it last pay-per-view, so this time around I think it's going to be Rowan and Harper.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Or Rowan with somebody else, somebody new.
Yeah.
Maybe the guy that used to be Insanity, you know, he's not injured anymore. What was his name? He used to be Insanity. He was replaced by Killian Dane. Sawyer Fulton.
Yeah.
He's got a crazy look.
Yeah.
Could team up maybe with Rowan.
Yeah.
With another sheep mask, whatever. Like, so much possibilities, you know.
I guess we'll see, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see tomorrow. So everybody, feel free to follow me on Twitter, hashtag @DumbGhostHunter, on Facebook, Dumb Ghost Hunter Paranormal, and on Instagram, my name, Dominic Bouchard. You can see my podcast on YouTube under my Dominic Bouchard. And feel free to leave me a message using the hashtag #BringingOn of the podcast. Comments or your, you know, what you think about what we said. If you agree, great. If you don't agree, even better. You know, that's what's fun about wrestling. You know, if it would be boring if everybody loved the same guys and everybody loved the same angles.
Well, yeah.
The fun part about wrestling is that there's so many different opinions.
Exactly. Yep.
And we're here to share it, right?
That's right.
All right, guys. So have a great evening, and looking forward for the pay-per-view tomorrow night.